For pretty much all of human history, we've thought of aging as this simple fact of life, right? It's just this one-way street of decline that we all have to go down. But what if that basic assumption is just wrong? What if aging isn't some destiny we're stuck with, but a process we can actually understand and maybe even influence?
So let's just ask the big question right up front. Is getting older something that just happens to us, or is it a process that's happening inside us? A process that we can actually do something about? The answer to that could literally change how you think about your health and your entire future. All right, this all starts with a huge shift in perspective, a totally new way of looking at the problem. What if, instead of just treating all the diseases of old age, we started treating aging itself as the real root of the problem?
I mean, we all grow up thinking that aging is just this natural, unavoidable thing. It's just what happens. But there's this new scientific view that's gaining a lot of ground, and it says, hold on a second. What if aging itself is a condition, the main reason we get all these major diseases? And if that's true, then maybe it's something we could actually treat. So, just how big of a deal is it? Get this. This number, 80 to 90%, that's the estimated percentage of major diseases like heart disease, Alzheimer's, and even cancer that are directly caused by the aging process itself. Think about that. The diseases are really just the symptoms. Aging is the root cause, and if we can slow that down, we're getting right to the source of the problem.
Okay, so if aging is the problem, what exactly is it? Like, what's happening on a biological level? Well, this brings us to this really fascinating idea called the information theory of aging.
To understand this, we've got to talk about something called the epigenome. It's so important. If your DNA is the body's hardware, like the physical blueprint for everything, then the epigenome is the software. It's this incredibly complex system that reads that blueprint and tells your genes what to do, which ones to turn on, which to turn off, in which cell, and at exactly the right time. It's basically the director of your body's orchestra. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a CD. Your DNA, your genome, that's like the digital music on the disc itself. The information is solid, it's stable. The epigenome, that's the CD player. It's the machine that has to read the music and play the right songs at the right time. A skin cell needs to be playing skin cell songs, while a neuron in your brain needs to be playing brain cell songs. They all have the same CD, but the player chooses the track. So here's the core of the theory. The music on the CD, your actual DNA code, it stays pretty much the same your whole life. The problem, the reason we age, is that the CD player gets scratched. Over time, these little epigenetic scratches build up, and the player can't read the music properly anymore. It starts playing the wrong songs in the wrong cells, and all of that cellular confusion, well, that is aging.
So the obvious next question is, what's causing all these scratches on our biological CD player in the first place? Well, the damage comes from a few really key things. Every single time our chromosomes break, and this can happen from stuff as common as getting too much sun or even just getting a medical x-ray, our cells have to stop everything they're doing and go fix that break. And this constant repair process disrupts how our DNA is all nicely packaged up. It's kind of like a librarian who keeps pulling books off a perfectly organized shelf to fix them, but never puts them back in exactly the right spot. After years of this, the whole library gets messy and disorganized.
And the result of all that disorganization? It's huge. The cells, they actually start to lose their identity. A nerve cell might start turning on genes that are only supposed to be active in a skin cell. They literally forget what their job is supposed to be. And this loss of function, this kind of cellular amnesia, that's the decline we feel as we get older. Now, I know this might all sound a little bit depressing, but here comes the really good news. That CD player, our epigenome, it's not just easily damaged, it's also incredibly responsive to the choices we make. And one of the most powerful ways to protect it is through something that's surprisingly simple: fasting. Think about it. In our modern world, we're snacking all the time, right? Our bodies almost never get a break from food. And this state of being constantly fed, it sends a signal to our cells that says, hey, times are good, plenty of energy, no need to worry about survival. But kind of ironically, that comfort mode keeps our body's most powerful built-in defense and repair systems switched completely off. So how does fasting flip that switch? It's actually a really clear chain reaction. First, you stop eating for a while. As a result, your insulin levels naturally go down.
That drop in insulin is a signal to this special group of longevity genes. They're called sirtuins, and it tells them, okay, time to wake up and get to work. And when those sirtuins are activated, they turn on the body's entire defense system against aging. And what do these defenses do? Oh, some pretty incredible stuff. They ramp up the repair of damaged cells, they improve your insulin sensitivity, they also kick off a process called autophagy, which is basically a deep cellular cleanse where your cells hunt down and recycle old, junked up parts. And most importantly for our conversation, they work to protect the epigenome, to polish away some of those scratches on the CD. And, the best part is you don't have to do anything crazy or extreme to start getting these benefits. Probably the simplest, most effective way to begin is to just try skipping one meal a day. Maybe it's breakfast, maybe it's dinner. That simple act just extends the natural fast you're already doing while you sleep, and it gives your body the time it needs to turn on those amazing longevity genes. So what does this all boil down to? It means we are not just passengers watching our own bodies age. It means we are the pilots. Just take a look at this. The latest research suggests that only about 20% of your future health and how long you live is determined by your genetics. The DNA you got from your parents. A massive 80% is controlled by your epigenome, which, as we've just seen, is directly influenced by how you live your life. Your day-to-day choices have the lion's share of control. Just let that sink in for a second. Your lifestyle, what you eat, when you eat, how much you move, all of that can have a bigger impact on your health and your life than the genetic code you were born with. That is a truly revolutionary and, honestly, an incredibly empowering idea. So the final question really isn't about biology anymore. It's about choice. Knowing that we have this much influence over how we age, that we're holding the reins for 80% of this journey, what kind of future are we going to decide to build for ourselves?